as we see these other companies coming up left and right, like, don't fear them. Don't be like, oh, there's another company coming up here, like, just ruin the market. Don't assume, because guess what? At one point, you were that guy,
That's
and
right.
you didn't want everybody else thinking the same thing about you. So be humble. I mean, yesterday I was dropping my truck off, the pressure washer, to get looked at, and there's just a younger guy standing there getting his truck worked on with a little 5.5 gallon in the back of his truck, getting some hose reels put on. I could have just looked at him like, yeah, I got 5 trucks, and what do you got? No, I was like, hey man, what's up? And we just started talking, and I went through everything with him. We talked about marketing, yard signs, door hangers, sales, average ticket, because things we don't think about early on. He didn't know his average ticket, which is completely fine, because I didn't know mine years ago. But I just kept adding like all this value to him to help better him as a business owner, so that when we do compete against each other, which we will, that we're competing on the same level, and not the $200 pressure wash versus $450K for your pro wash. And maybe now it's $450 versus $430. And then the customer's like, okay, well, now this seems,
Right.
better. But had I just looked at him and walked away from him and just said, whatever, like I was doing my company a disservice, and I'd be doing him a disservice, because when I was young coming up, I wished that somebody came up to me and started talking to me and invited me to the area. I had him to a local Facebook group that we have. I invited him to sales booths. I even invited him to my shop. Like, dude, come on in. Come look at everything we have. Like, there's no secrets here. And that's what I love about Pat. I mean, just there is no secrets. Like, here, come have everything. Like, it is open to you. You can have it. We're not going to be competing. We're going to be collaborating against each other.
I love that topic, because to be honest, Pat's the reason that I changed my mindset on this as well. Pat has influenced so many people in this industry. I don't know if he even realizes it yet, but one day he will. But just last month, I had somebody in my office who worked with me to hang Christmas lights over the season. And it's just one of those guys that you want to do what you can to get him on your team, and maybe even in a leadership management type position. So he came into my office, and I'm sitting down with him, and I'm thinking to myself, yes, done it. He wants to join full time. we're going to expand into new territory. This guy's the perfect candidate. He's got some money, so he's willing to be part of it. And he sits down, he says, so I just bought a rig and I'm starting a pressure washing company, and he lives 2 miles from me. I'm like, okay, all right, well, not what I was looking for, but let's talk about it. And so I love it, man. I've helped at least 3 or 4 people in my direct competition in my market get into the industry. And I look at it this way. I don't know what their goals are, but I know what mine are. And I know that at some point, if they're not on my level mindset, they're either going to want to get out, or they're going to say, this is too hard or too difficult. They're going to call me and say, hey man, listen, I'm thinking about moving on. I want to do this business. I want to do that. And that's the best phone call you can get, right? Because then it's like, okay, time to expand, time to talk acquisitions. And that's always been my goal. So you never know where a conversation will end up. So treat your competition with respect, and I think it'll pay off in the end.